Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing WWE 2K18 finally on the GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. For FPS monitoring, I'll be using Cam. If you want to download the software, there's a link down in the description. And if you want to support me, there are Humble and Amazon affiliate links down in the description as well. So WWE 2K18, I'll be doing 1080p, 900p, 720p and briefly 1440p. To skip any of those sections of the video, check the description below. So first I'll show you 1080p with the maximum settings. And you'll see that that's enough to be over 30 frames per second pretty much all the time. Since I saw 30 frames per second, I tried just lower settings after that, and it was still below 60 frames per second all the time. So I decided to try lower resolutions, and unfortunately the only way that I found to have constant 60 frames per second all the time, even with 8 wrestlers on screen, was 720p with reduced settings. But as less opponents are on screen, like 3 or 5, you can get a small performance uplift. So on 900p with reduced settings, you can be very close to 60 as well, or on 720p with higher settings. But I tested 900p and 720p as well, on the highest and the lowest, so you can see how it performs. Well, so far I recommend 900p with reduced settings or 720p with the highest settings, because you are still over 50 frames per second on 720p. And if you don't mind having 30 frames per second, 1080p should be enough for you. But honestly, I'm quite disappointed with the results here. It seems that the new engine is very GPU intensive, but the game doesn't have the best reviews anyway, so just check the Steam reviews, it's mixed, so it's not a good sign. And well, at 1440p, even at lowest settings, I wasn't able to get constant 30 frames per second with 8 wrestlers on screen. I mean, the maximum it was like 29 frames per second, so 28 to 29 FPS. If there are only 2 wrestlers fighting there, you might get 30s, but it won't be that stable. So I recommend 1080p or below that resolution. So yeah, now I'm going to talk to you about some of the CPU performance plus the options menu. So the graphics options menu is very similar to 2K17. We have windowed mode on rough, VSync on rough, shadows on rough, FXAA on rough. Texture quality we have low, medium or high. While the game doesn't use a lot of VRAM, it was below 2GB of VRAM usage on high, so that's good. Then we also have the audience density from 0% to 100%, depth of field on rough or motion blur on rough. In my opinion, this is a very bare bones options menu. It's good that we can turn off shadows, but I didn't see a big difference between the lowest and the highest settings. The biggest performance impact is resolution, so don't expect much of a difference changing the settings. But shadows, depth of field and motion blur, turning them off gives you the biggest performance uplift. I decided to use the 8-man battle, the Battle Royale mode on 8-man, and I noticed as I was playing the match that when there are less opponents on screen, you start with 8, but you will end up with around 3-5 minutes from that. You get a small performance uplift because there are less characters on screen, and there are some occasions where the camera can just zoom out and you'll see more of the place that you're fighting at. That's also a performance hit. It doesn't happen in the mode I tested. It can be a noticeable performance impact, but since you usually have less opponents on screen when those zoom outs happen, it isn't as bad as having 8 wrestlers on screen at all times. So keep that in mind. But yeah, not much else to say. The game doesn't use a lot of RAM or VRAM. It can use a lot of CPU. It's capped at 60 frames per second, so the G4560 was more than enough to maintain a consistent 60, as long as your GPU can hold up. So if you have a better CPU, a Ryzen 3, a Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, a Modern i5, a Modern i7, something like that, you won't see a difference at all, since the game is more GPU dependent this time around. And since it's capped at 60 frames per second, and the G4560 can achieve it without a problem, even with 8 wrestlers on screen, a better CPU won't make a difference at all here. The 60 frames per second cap seems to be that the mocap they did was at 60 frames per second, so if you go over 60, the animations won't be correct, but I don't know. That's what I read on the internet. But anyway guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Starting to struggle now. We all know, though, this guy has plenty of fight left in him.
He seemed more motivated than ever heading into this match, which makes me think he still has plenty of fight left in him.
Roman Reigns with nice contact there.
He misses on that one.
Were his eyes even open?
For some competitors, part of their strategy is to demean their opponent. A move like that says it all. The bell rings and Neville, one of the highest flyers in WWE, is on the hunt.
And I can't help but get the feeling that this is going to be one of those matches people will be talking about for a long time to come.
Judging from this crowd response, guys, there's no more magical place to be in Orlando right now than right here for this match. Dean Ambrose is not someone to sleep on. A nice shot by Brock Lesnar. Tell us about AJ Styles. What kind of attack, what kind of tactics are going to help him here tonight?
One of the reasons a Battle Royal is so dangerous is because there's nothing you can do to prepare for it. It can have a different amount of participants, different rules about attire, and what's at stake. He needs to be at his absolute best.
Nicely timed shot by Dean Ambrose.
A kick right to the gut.
He's simply reminding him that he's here.
He hits the clothesline.
Look at Roman Reigns here. Landing another uppercut here. One move after the other. It's devastating.
Got him with the elbow drop.
The Lunatic Fringe is one of the toughest, most unpredictable superstars in sports entertainment today. Maybe even ever. Ambrose will do whatever's necessary to pick up the win.
Looks like trouble here, Byron.
I don't know. I guess that all depends on who you're rooting for.
Just making his presence felt there. Getting nailed with a strike like that lets you know just what kind of fight you're in.
Check out Bobby Roode's offense.
Big miss for him there.
And he'll likely pay for it here.
He slams him down with authority.
Oh, the reversal by AJ Styles.
All right, we're ready to kick this one off.
Man, this card is just packed with so many great matches, and this one is definitely among the most anticipated, I'd say.
That's right, and this Phoenix crowd couldn't be any more excited for this one.
Now we have Dean Ambrose on the attack.
And he lands a savage elbow.
Great offense by AJ Styles. You can't put a price tag on landing that perfect strike, and that nailed him. Okay, guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about Brock Lesnar here. For those that haven't seen much of him, what can we expect tactic-wise from him tonight?
There is nothing like a bunch of WWE talent slugging it out, and only one of them can be the victor. For this one, he wants to avoid any major entanglements and keep his energy level high. This will give him a chance to be around when the final participants are in there duking it out.
Well executed clothesline.
That elbow will leave you dazed. He's starting to stumble here. Don't be surprised if he shrugs it off and comes back more motivated than ever.
I know it's early, but he has to do everything in his power not to let this get out of hand. Nice job by Brock Lesnar there.
Looks like Randy Orton has broken a sweat. He's really going to need to create some space for himself.
He's certainly in a tough spot here, guys, but there's still plenty of time. Plus, it's not like his opponent is running away with this thing. Well, at least not yet, anyway.
Now it's Roman Reigns on his heels. But we all know that he isn't afraid of a good fight, which is what we're seeing here.
This match is so evenly contested right now that it's almost impossible to pick a winner. I guess we'll just have to settle in and enjoy the action.
No question about that one.
Knocked off his feet.
Now that's a takedown.
Second time we're seeing this here.
Oh, he's such a tough target. Oh, and he's one step ahead on that one.
Getting his attention with a
Here we go, folks. It's go time. And let's not forget, we're coming to you live from the hometown of one of the greatest of all time, Shawn Michaels. That strike definitely found its target.
And the strike lands.
He delivers a flawless Hurricane Rana.
Getting his attention with a vicious strike. And looking at Roman Reigns, what's the story for him right now? I can't wait to see his plan of attack. What do you expect from him?
Oh, this is a battle royal. You can't specifically train for this type of match, but I certainly hope he's ready for bedlam. That's what battle royals are. Pure bedlam.
His strikes have a little extra on them tonight. Dean Ambrose is not someone to sleep on. Nicely timed shot by Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns with nice contact there. Brock Lesnar going to work now. The offensive Brock Lesnar is working well right now.
And a lethal clothesline. Now Neville might be in some trouble here.
He came into this match expecting a fight, and that's exactly what he's getting.
When Brock Lesnar appears on WWE programming, you can guarantee somebody's going to get hurt. Seriously hurt. I don't know if there's anybody who can stop this man.
And there's the reversal from Neville. Oh, Roman Reigns unable to be contained. This is what makes him one of the best in the business. Now it's Roman Reigns on his heels. I don't think he expected to be in this position here.
Oh, and it's a reversal. Uh-oh, this doesn't look good, Byron.
Yeah, this is how people end up getting hurt.
Avoids trouble there.
Yeah, that could have been very ugly, Cole.
He kicks him right in the gut. Dodges that one. Takes him down with brute force there.
Just
all right, we're ready to kick this one off. And it's worth noting that we are just a few miles from the WWE Performance Center, which means there are plenty of WWE hopefuls in the back studying this one.
Let's take a moment to talk about Dean Ambrose. All these superstars have the ability, but what does he need to do specifically to come out ahead here?
He's got to lay low, for God's sake. This is a battle royal. And when I say that, I don't mean from the physical aspect. I mean, be conservative about who and when you decide to mix it up with in there.
Look, he needs to stay far out of the way of things for as long as he can. The longer he can conserve his energy, the better.
Now Neville might be in some trouble here.
He's going to need to find a way to fire back.
You never want to count a competitor out, but things don't seem to be going in his favor here tonight.
Oh, God, that was hitting the nail right on the head. If he takes many more of those, he's going to get lit up like a Christmas tree.
Got him good with the underhand.
He's starting to stagger a bit. At this point, it's all about how he responds and potentially rebounds.
Yeah, but if you count him out now, guys, you'd be making a very big mistake. Mark my words.
And there's an extremely destructive strike.
No, reverses it.
The quick reversal there by Randy Orton. You can't put a price tag on landing that perfect strike, and that nailed him.
And he executes a picture-perfect Russian leg sweep.
He's delivering an old-fashioned butt-kicking right here.
Sending a statement with that elbow.
This is a level of destruction no one was expecting.
AJ Styles got him there.
AJ Styles with good timing here. This is the type of attack that just wears down an opponent. Almost knocked silly by that strike.
AJ Styles is impressed.
The bell rings and Neville, one of the highest flyers in WWE, is on the hunt.
Judging from this crowd response, guys, there's no more magical place to be in Orlando right now than right here for this match.
Perfectly executed. Man, that got him good. He landed a perfectly placed strike. That'll send a message to your adversary, all right. Let's take a moment to talk about Roman Reigns. What kind of attack, what kind of tactics are going to help him here tonight?
Oh, man, he better be ready for anything tonight. In a battle royal, you can get attacked from any direction from several attackers. You need 2 sets of eyes in there.
He really needs to lay low and save his strength if he wants to be around when it counts. Neville got him there.
His strikes have a little extra on them tonight. He lands the strike with great accuracy.
Lights up his chest with a chop.
Nice job by Brock Lesnar there.
And Byron, this takes a ton of strength to pull off, am I right?
Oh, you are definitely right, Michael, but you also have to remember how much energy it drains to pull off. Now we have Dean Ambrose on the attack.
When his strikes land, you can feel it in the first few rows. Now it's Lesnar taking some punishment. He looks incredibly motivated, though. Don't expect him to be down for long.
And a lethal clothesline.